This is how you find the right key or scale for your favorite song in seconds using that software called deCoda. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this option over here, and then I'm going to click on open and navigate to a folder that has a popular song. I will use Lil Uzi Vert's P2, and I'm going to click on it real quick. It's going to analyze this file, and I'm going to find out either the key and the scale or both. Basically, it is a D major, so we already know that because I did the video yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and double click on it and get a closer look, and you'll start to see something even crazier here. This is where I'm going to introduce you to the piano roll. You can actually export and draw and export anything that you want out of the song. So that is crazy. So let's go ahead and draw something in real quick. Crazy, right?
Traptendo.
What is going on, guys? I'm back at it again, and I wanted to do this review for quite a while now, but I have been hung up. And what we're going to talk about is zplane deCoda, and this is a music theory audio analyzing software. And it's not a plugin, by the way, but at the same time, this review is warranted. I will have a link in the description box because there's a lot to be explored. I think you should try out the demo at the bare minimal. So make sure that you do check it out. Other than that, I will just say, leave a comment below. Let me know how you feel about it, and let's roll. So who is deCoda for? Like, if you like to sample or anything like that, or if you just want to figure out like music theory really quick from a song, or if you want to rehearse a song or try to make a cover song with some interpolations of it, then deCoda is for you. So if you play instruments, or even if you want to, I don't know, remix MIDI or something like that from the audio, deCoda is for you. So it's for a whole bunch of people that create music. So it's for music creatives altogether. So this is deCoda in the flesh here, and as you can see, I have something else loaded in, and it's pretty much on the same lines as the Lil Uzi Vert P2 song that I was analyzing at the very beginning of the video. It's a really popular song in hip hop right now, and you know, I'm going to go ahead and start from the very beginning again so everybody can understand what's going on. So you have these three lines over here, which will bring you to four different options. The bottom option right here being settings, and now I'll go over that in a second. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to reopen this up. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and select Traptendo P2 Remix here, because this is a remix that I'm working on. It's going to analyze that file, and then therefore we are back where we started here. And you also have this area up here at the top called parts. So you can adjust these parts the way you want. And you can use a couple of different options over here at the right side of the screen right here. You'll see bar, 4 bars, beats. What you could do is it's just where you can snap into the grid here. And you can adjust it over here, and you can get it and fine tune it to how you want it to begin. So what I'm going to do is do a couple of things to show you what happened with this particular remix here, as it shares the same parts as the original joint. And as you can see, you see like G, F sharp minor, G, F sharp minor. And if I was to play that, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. Boom. It just hits at the certain part where the melody changes here. But what most people are not understanding is that just because that particular scale isn't a D major, is that it is a D major, except the D major will be the perfect opening chord within this progression. So that's why I chose that, because it's a cowboy chord progression that I learned on the guitar at the very beginning of my guitar lesson. So me knowing that information, I know that this F sharp minor actually fits in there, as well as this G major fits in there. So with that, you also can get more information, and you'll see that it will say like B minor right here is the main scale. So that shows like the chord that starts off the song or whatnot, and that fits into the cowboy chorus as well. And also you can see your time signature too. And the reason why it's like that is because of the algorithm that they use is the Elastic version 3 algorithm. So you can peep out the Elastic algorithm in a lot of stuff like Serato samples, Serato, and what else is there out there? Oh, of course, Ableton Live, and many other things that use this algorithm is very well. What the Elastic algorithm does is it links into or locks into an audio file to where it's perfectly in time, and it reads it very well via through the transients, and it develops that information. So that's what makes deCoda very great and very deadly as a tool that any songwriter or producer could love, but at the same time a musician as well. If you want to learn how to play this, you'll be able to play different things or different instruments if you know a little bit more about music theory. Therefore, it's not really that much cheating about it, but it's really good for that. So more about the functionalities that I really like. Of course, I do like the fact that if you go to the right side of the screen here, you have a piano roll, and now that's where things get a little bit tricky here. You can double click to zoom in and to zoom out, and you'll see some of the semitones and the tone. So what you can do is access the pencil, and you can draw out, and it's all dependent on different features over here and right down here where you see 132, 1/16, 1/8, and that affects the way you would draw the notes in. One thing I do want to complain about, though, as far as the feature, it doesn't really correlate or play very well with the trackpad. You do have to right click, and let's see, I'm gonna play that. And you can hear the little note there, and you can stretch it out as long as you want. And this kind of works in this manner right here. So if I was to click again, I can see more of the song progression, and also again a little bit of more clunkiness that they need to work out here, but I can understand it and get over that. But you can just continue to draw in stuff in the piano roll, and I got to keep reminding myself to actually right click and just draw whatever out, and you can hear that it's harmonically sounding. You also hear the beat itself play. So if you want to draw some stuff out here, and just make sure that you're picking out some of the blue, because sometimes the black will say like a semitone, and then you can just keep on drawing to your heart content. And then once you're done or whatever, you can also export it. So you can use this and export it and then import it into something like, I don't know, FL Studio, which I didn't do for the video that I will have linked at the top right of the screen here, which was my P2 video. And that was the reason why I did that video, because of this right here is what led me to being able to create something like that. But you can export the MIDI. You have to save it anywhere that you want. You might have a MIDI folder. You might want to select new folder and just dump it into a folder. So this actually is very good for both music theory and creating maybe like a MIDI pack. Oh Lord, Unison. But anyways, so with this, there's other features too as well that I want to highlight. So I'm going to go down to the bottom part of the screen here where the play sign is. You can play it from here and hear stuff. You also can, let me go up here real quick, and you can turn down the synth. If the synth is too much for you, you can turn down the click. If the click of the metronome is too much for you, you can turn down the main. So you have a little bit of mixing features here, so you can mess with that as well. I'm gonna go ahead and close that. I'm gonna go ahead and play it by hitting spacebar, because spacebar will help. So you can see, you can hear a little less in there. But other than that, though, you have those features. But this feature right here, when I click on this box, allows you to focus in on a frequency. And what that entails is that it allows you, if you want to figure out a bass part and you want to highlight the bass part of a song, you can do that as well. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go to like part B or something like that. And don't forget, again, you can select a part to as much as you want or how little you want to as well. And, that's a very good feature. There's some features I had to get used to. Oh, and also I did almost forget is you can focus on the stuff on the outside if you want to carve out a frequency. So that just allows you to do some pretty freakishly crazy stuff with the audio file that you're playing with. And you can do a little bit of sound design inside of deCoda. So, oh man, this is very tough. Also, you can bookmark different parts here. If I hit this bookmark button, but I do have to engage this menu right here, so I can set up a bookmark. So I want to play it from bar 9 to 24 or something like that, and then start to rehearse that particular part. I know a lot of people are going to have questions. Can it loop or something like that? So can I loop, 9, 10, 11, 12 to about 14 here, about a 4-bar loop? Yes, you can. I'm going to go ahead and show you. Hey. Of course, I messed that up. Of course, I selected far too many bars here, so I should go back a little bit. I'll go back to 13 bars here. There we go. So there we go. So you can do a whole lot here, and you can fine tune it again by going over here to beat and making sure that loop is tighter than it was. So I'm gonna go make it tighter. So making it tighter, you can do that. And it gets deeper than that. Say, okay, well, you want the song to have that kind of vibe or melodic vibe or whatever. Well, guess what? You can detune it or go down to semitone. Hey. And you can go up by octave 2 over here using this hotkey right here. Boom. If you're trying to figure out some of the bass or something like that. So this has a whole bunch of potential that you can just go crazy over and just have the craziest amount of results within some software, and then just go right back into your DAW and create something nice and fresh from all of this data that you have accumulated using deCoda. And also, I almost forgot a feature here. There is a tooltip bar, just in case I went through some stuff or you're just too lazy to mess with this. Of course, you have the tutorials and stuff like that. You can click and get the tutorials. You can also change up chords too as well. Shows detect the chord, right click the chord, and boom, you can go and you can change the chord as well, just in case it's just not up to your liking. But just keep in mind that the circle of fifths is a rule for a reason, and that certain chord progressions or scales actually fit in within each other, even though they might not share the same likeliness. So make sure that you know that when you are messing with deCoda. So tell me how you feel about this review. I definitely find this to be one of the toughest reviews that I've done because of the things that it can do, and I'm trying to find a lot of stuff wrong with it. So I'll start off with a con here, and then we'll go on from there. So a con that I have for this is definitely the piano roll, but at the same time, I do feel like with the piano roll, the way it is, using the Elastic version 3 algorithm, which allows you to grid lock via transient and stuff like that, because it does pull up the BPM and it allows you to analyze a full-headed song at its very top potential, because it allows you to have different scales. I know it sounds like I'm just complimenting it, but it's hard to get to a con. I think it should have more freedom, like a way to unlock how you draw in your piano roll notes and stuff like that. So I would have like a non-locking mode or something like that. And I might have overlooked that. I'm pretty sure I have. But other than that, though, there's a lot of pros for this. I mean, I can't recommend a software enough when it comes to breaking down music theory of your favorite music producer or a song that's out, because if you are a musician or anything as far as a music producer, it fits into your workflow quite easily, because if you want to do cover songs and stuff like that, then that means that you can have the backtrack for it, because you have like a EQ filter in there, so you can pick out the part that you want to highlight. And yeah, I know I'm going on and on and on and on again about the pros about this. So do I give this the stamp of approval? Hey.